play La Bamba Oil Country. The Oilers, they take the 3-2 series lead over the Los Angeles Kings. They win on the road for the first time in this series from either side. Neither team has won on the road until tonight. The Oilers with the 3-2 series lead after winning 3-1. They took over this game basically right from puck drop, right to the end of the game. The Edmonton Oilers dominated almost every facet of the game. They had the better special teams. Well, kind of. The LA Kings did score power play goal. The Oilers were 0-for-2. But in any case, I did think Edmonton special teams was absolutely clutch. But the Oilers tied at 1 heading to the third period. They were completely outshooting the Los Angeles Kings. Mattias Janmark with the game winner. Who had Mattias Janmark on that bingo card? Shout out to Erica from the community on Discord. That was her husband earlier this season, and she decided to leave him. She gave up on him. And Craig Button, when he, remember when Janmark, when he had that breakaway and he missed that backhand, he didn't get a shot on net, and Craig Button on the feed was like, oh, that's what a 2-goal scorer looks like. Hey, Craig Button, what do we think of Mattias Janmark now? A 2-goal scorer in the playoffs and a game winner in a pivotal Game 5 against the Kings, as the Oilers now have an opportunity to close things out at home in Game 6 on Thursday. They have 2 opportunities to win this series. Obviously, I would like to see them close things out in Game 6. You do not want to go to a 7th game, especially because the Kings have home ice advantage. Edmonton has done their job. They've won a game on the road. They won both of their home games. Now they have a chance to take this thing at home, where they are now 2-0. Of course, the game I went to, 4-3 overtime win, huge comeback. Game 3, where they also had to come back in that third period. The Oilers have completely dominated the LA Kings since the second period of Game 4. The third period in Game 4, overtime in Game 4, period 1, period 2, and period 3 against the Kings. They have absolutely no answer for how Edmonton is playing. Now, tonight, I will give Jim Hiller a little bit of credit. He really did try and spread minutes out a little bit better than he has been. However, it's probably still not good enough, especially late in that third period. He was still basically running 4 defensemen for his team. Now, obviously, there's still a lot of work to be done for the Oilers. Am I enjoying this win tonight? Absolutely. 100%. This is a terrific win for Edmonton. There is absolutely nothing that I can talk about that is a negative. And for Kings fans, that it's probably frustrating, right? You're up 2-0 in the series. You're up late in the third period in Game 3. You could have taken a 3-0 series lead. You're up 3-1 in Game 4. You could have taken a 3-1 series lead, and they can't do it. The Oilers have been resilient all season long when it looks like they're out, and they find a way to stay in it. And I talked about it a little bit in my pregame report. Just before I start talking about the stats, I'll go over some of the advanced stats. We'll go over the normal stats. And then, of course, I'll answer some questions and comments from you, the fans at home, on Twitter or X.com. And, of course, the Discord community that we have. I will leave a link to that Discord in the comment section below. Or not the comment section, sorry, the description of the video. For the Edmonton Oilers, I said as the series goes forward, players that didn't play with this team all season or played very little hockey throughout the season, guys like Klingberg, guys like Evander Kane, Trent Frederick, guys that weren't getting into the lineup regularly, the more they play, the more comfortable they are becoming. Evander Kane was instrumental in Edmonton being able to come back today. John Klingberg, holy smokes, this guy has shown up in the playoffs for Edmonton. I could not be happier with how John Klingberg has played so far. And, of course, Trent Frederick, he doesn't have any points, but he's sniffing around the right areas. He had a 2-on-1 earlier in this game. He's had some looks, and that is a good sign for Edmonton. Do I want Jeff Skinner in the lineup? Yes, but as long as this team is winning, I will not complain. I will not call for any major changes. The Oilers had their top line loaded up as well. So for the Kings, if you shut down the Oilers' top line, usually you can find some success. But the big thing tonight, and the thing especially in Game 4 as well, Calvin Pickard. He is making the saves that he is supposed to make, and the only goal that got by him was a beautiful tip by Andrei Kuzmenko in front of the net on the power play. Brett Kulak probably should have done a better job boxing Kuzmenko out, but again, that's a goal that you cannot pin on your goaltender at all. Calvin Pickard has come into this crease. He has stolen the crease from Stuart Skinner. The Oilers, they're playing better in front of Pickard. They are playing more comfortable in front of Pickard, and they are confident in Calvin Pickard to make those saves. Pickard, he wasn't tested often tonight. In fact, I would say he probably was barely tested with any high danger chances. I haven't taken a look at what the high danger chances looked like for the Kings, but I will say I do believe the Oilers completely dominated this game from beginning to end. All the advanced metrics probably agree with me. We're going to take a look at the money puck. We're going to take a look at Calvin Pickard's stats. He is a huge reason why the Oilers are now up 3-2 in the series. A complete turning point. Chris Knobloch did the right thing pulling Stu when he did. This is Calvin Pickard's crease. And of course, for some of the players that haven't played all season long, Evander Kane, he has been instrumental in Edmonton being able to win not only game 3, but also tonight. He scored the tying goal after the Oilers power play. Great shot, and I thought Evander Kane was very effective. That Evander Kane, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Zach Hyman line, I thought was Edmonton's best line tonight. They were phenomenal. Terrific line for the Oilers. Now, we're going to go over some of the edge visualizer stats. We're going to take a look at 2 of the Oilers' goals. We'll take a look at the Kings' goal. Of course, I'll talk about Kulak, how he should have boxed out Kuzmenko. We'll talk about money puck, and then I'll answer your questions and comments, and we will wrap things up and get ready for the day after discussion tomorrow. Make sure to smash that like button if you enjoy today's fan reaction. Smash the like button if you're an Oilers fan and you are stoked that they have that 3-2 series lead. Like I said, we are excited tonight, but once tomorrow hits, we're back to business, right? Business as usual. We're back to work. We got the series face on. This series is not over, right? Don't get it mistaken. This series is not over. Kings fans, this series is not over. We know how good the Kings are. We've seen how strong of a team they are. They can bounce back. So for Edmonton, they for how good they played tonight, they have to play even better on Thursday at Rogers Place. So let's take a look at the edge visualizer. Kuzmenko's goal, it was on the power play. Darnell Nurse took the call. Listen, before I even play this, I just want to say I am not discussing the officiating at length at all tonight. I don't care how bad it is for either side. The officiating all playoffs long has been bad for literally every team in the postseason. I refuse to engage with it. If you want me to complain about it, I'm not going to do it. The Kings are not losing because of the refs. The Oilers are not winning because of the refs, and vice versa. It is what it is. This is what the NHL officiating is. Got to fight through it. Play 5-on-5. Do your damage there. Now, Kuzmenko off the face-off. The Kings win it. Kempe plays it back to Kopitar. Now, Brett Kulak, he had position, but he kind of came out wide, and before he's able to react in time, the puck is thrown towards the net by Kopitar. This looks like a set play. Kuzmenko gets a stick on it. It goes over the glove of Calvin Pickard. It's a perfect tip. There's absolutely nothing Calvin Pickard can do there. 1-0 Kings. However, just 3 minutes later, Evander Kane, after the Oilers' power play expires, the second unit is out for the Oilers. The puck comes to the blue line. Now look at this. This puck is coming towards Doughty. Now, Klingberg, a lot of defensemen, they would make the play, and they would usually just get back, right? They would just try and get back and protect the zone, protect the neutral zone, get back in the D zone. But Klingberg decides, I'm going to race Drew Doughty for this puck. And Doughty, fresh legs right out of the box. Klingberg does such a good job to grab this puck. And then he plays a perfect pass to Evander Kane. You had Kempe streaking up the middle. If Doughty had come up with that puck, Kempe up the middle, he probably gets by Wallman onto a breakaway. But the puck comes to Kane, and Kane absolutely rifles one past the glove of Darcy Kemper. By the way, without Darcy Kemper, this game is probably about 7 or 8-1 Edmonton. I think the Oilers had a ton of chances. Darcy Kemper kept the LA Kings alive in this one, but the Oilers, again, they would not be stopped in this one. Mattias Janmark with the game winner. The edge visualizer, you have Wallman behind his net. He circles out front through the middle of the ice, number 12, which is more for the Kings. He can't come up with it. Puck comes to Arvidsson, 3-on-2 for Edmonton. Arvidsson with the shot off the blocker of Darcy Kemper, but Mattias Janmark is in perfect position to grab that rebound. He puts it into the empty cage. Janmark with his second goal of the postseason. Craig Button, suck it. Does that look like a 2-goal scorer? I would say so, but in a positive way, an affectionate way. 2-goal scorer, affectionate is what I say. Mattias Janmark gets the game winner. And then Nugent-Hopkins with insurance and McDavid and Draisaitl with the assist. The net is pulled. The Kings were pressing. They had all this zone time. What an unbelievable third period. Nugent Hopkins makes the play to Draisaitl. He gives it to McDavid. McDavid to Nugent Hopkins. And Nugent Hopkins literally right in the center of the net. For all of the memes during the regular season where Edmonton could not hit an empty net to save their life, they have been able to find the empty net in the playoffs so far. Nugent Hopkins' second goal of the postseason, assisted by McDavid and Draisaitl. That is McDavid's 8th assist of the playoffs. That is Leon Draisaitl's 7th assist of the playoffs. Janmark's goal was assisted by Arvidsson and Podkolzin. Podkolzin quietly having a good playoff so far. Doesn't get a lot of ice time, but 3 assists. And then, of course, the first goal, Evander Kane, which was his second of the postseason. John Klingberg, man, I'm telling you, John Klingberg has been an absolute difference maker for Edmonton. His game has been so solid. And, of course, they need even more. It's tough to ask for more from this group, but they need more in Game 6, which is going to be Thursday at 8 p.m. local time here in Alberta, 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We'll see how the Oilers do. We'll take a look at the money puck here. And look at the money puck. The Oilers won 3-1. The deserve to win-o-meter. 95.3% of the time the Oilers win this hockey game. Look at the chances Edmonton had in close. Look at how much they exposed the Kings. And Darcy Kuemper, he is legitimately the only reason that this game was not a blowout. The Oilers have carried that momentum from Game 4 into Game 5. They completely dominated the LA Kings tonight. And no matter how you slice it for LA, if you're a Kings fan, you're probably very disappointed in the effort. You have home ice advantage. You have last change. Jim Hiller unable to get the proper matchups, unable to match Edmonton's pace. This legitimately may have been the highest paced game that the Oilers have played all season long. They are the oldest team in the NHL based on average age, but you would never, ever know that based on how Edmonton played tonight. Look at the expected goals in all situations. 6.4 to 2 in favor of Edmonton. And of course, the Kings, they pressed in the third. Look at all the shot attempts. They didn't have very many shot attempts in the first period. Look, their first shot attempt at 5-on-5 comes with about 8 minutes into the first period, right? And the Kings, they win again almost 10 full minutes in the second without a single shot attempt towards Edmonton's net. And in the third period, you're desperate. You get down. Once Mattias Janmark made it 2-1, they're trying to throw pucks on net. But credit to the Oilers, credit to their skaters, credit to their defenders, credit to Calvin Pickard. The Kings didn't really ever have anything dangerous tonight. They didn't get the looks that we've been accustomed to with the Kings. They couldn't attack off transition. If you take a look at the expected goals in all situations tonight, at 5-on-5, Corey Perry was actually the lowest for Edmonton, 48%. If we go all situations, the lowest expected goal percentage player was Mattias Janmark, still above 50%. Nobody on the Kings was above 50% in all situations. If we take a look at the time on ice, Bouchard led the way 23-14 with Brett Kulak. Probably Bouchard's best game defensively. He made some massive plays. There was a play in the third period. Puck came towards Pickard. It's in the blue paint, and Evan Bouchard had to get his stick on it to prevent Andrzej Kopitar from putting it into the empty net. Evan Bouchard did not get a point tonight. Probably his best defensive game, though. Brett Kulak also had a phenomenal game for Edmonton. Draisaitl, McDavid, Nurse, Wallman. There is literally nobody to complain about here. Corey Perry with 13:03. The player that had the least amount of ice time was Vasily Podkolzin, but he had an assist. Victor Arvidsson had an assist, right? These guys, they're not getting tons of ice time, but they're providing depth for Edmonton. Calvin Pickard with 1.02 goals saved above expected, and a 955 save percentage. He has been rock solid for Edmonton. If we take a look at the LA Kings, Helenius played 405, Turcotte 508, Malott 518. That is more than they have been playing, but it's still just not quite where you probably want them if you're a Kings fan. Jim Hiller does not trust his guys. Look at Drew Doughty, 2606, Anderson 2140, Fiala 21, Edmondson 2043, Gavrikov 1911. He did try and play different forwards a little bit more tonight, but it was a little too little, a little too late. Darcy Kuemper with an unbelievable performance, 3.87 goals saved above expected, and a 956 save percentage. Darcy Kuemper, probably the player of the game, honestly. Yes, the Kings lost, but they were absolutely likely the player of the game. Now, when we get into tonight's fan questions and comments, let's take a look here. I had that game was legit never in doubt. Hashtag never in doubt. Also, rest in peace, Bruce McCurdy. He used to always tweet hashtag never in doubt. That was a big thing that he used to do. Massive shout out to Bruce McCurdy, RIP, absolute legend in the Oilers community. Thank you so much for your positive impact as well. But this was legit never in doubt for Edmonton. The questions and comments for the fan reaction. Zach says, we stole one on the road, win one at home. Calvin Pickard is our guy. Do you think we will see Stu ever again? It depends if they decide they want to keep him this summer. There's a lot of variables at play. It's a little too early to answer that question, but right now, this crease is Stuart Skinner's. Steven says, I'm remembering this quote from Craig Button when he covered the Oilers game against Montreal in March. You want to know what a 2-goal scorer looks like? Referring to Mattias Janmark, which I did reference already in this video. Thank you, Steven, for that. I did reference it because of your comment. I saw it before I hit record, so thank you very much. Tyler says, Kemper should be tested for PEDs. What a performance. Of course, all Oilers fans, I mean, we have to give an absolute round of applause to Darcy Kemper. Kings fans, you have an unbelievable goaltender right now. And hopefully the team in front of him, for Kings fans at least, can, rally around him and play a little bit better in Game 6. Tyler also said, if Stetcher is healthy for Game 6, you replace him with Emberson. Personally, I feel not, but curious what your thoughts are. I think Stetcher is healthy, but because the team is on a 3-game win streak, they are not going to change the lineup unless they lose. So there's a bit of a superstition there, whether you agree with it or not. I do think Emberson stays in. I thought this was Emberson's best game in this first round. Personally, when it came to the defensive side, he didn't play a ton of minutes, but I thought he was very effective in the minutes that he did play. And that goes for pretty much everyone on the team tonight. Trent says, what made the Kings play passive in the last 3 third periods? The Oilers have a chance to go 4 in a row on home ice on Thursday. I don't know what the answer is. The Kings tonight, there's a combination of things happening. I think the Oilers played their best offensive game in terms of pushing the pace, using their speed, taking away the neutral zone, taking away the rush chances, and of course, being effective at breaking up the cycle. But the Kings, yes, when they have a lead, traditionally, they've played way too passive. They sit back too much in the third period. I think what we're seeing right now is the effect of Jim Hiller playing his top guys way too much. He's been way too top heavy throughout the whole series. As this series has progressed, the Oilers seem to be able to carry the play a little bit more than the Kings, and we'll see what they have left in the tank for Game 6. I wouldn't say that this series is over for LA at all. In fact, this could easily go 7 games, right? Like, the Kings are a terrific team. This is probably the toughest Kings team that the Oilers have ever faced, even more so than that 2022 team that took Edmonton to 7 games. The Oilers have a chance to win in 6. The Kings play strong. They are going to play desperate hockey on Thursday. Edmonton has to be ready for it. I can't explain why they seem to be passive. I didn't think they were as passive tonight because they're down. They're pushing in the third. I thought the Oilers did a really good job preventing LA from really getting inside and getting those high danger looks. The Averro Arrow says Nurse needs to play less minutes. He's the weak link on our D-core here, no doubt about it. I actually thought Darnell Nurse played terrific tonight. I just want to throw that out there. At least get him away from Bouchard somehow, please. That I will agree with. However, again, tonight, small sample size, they did their job tonight. I thought they both played very, very well. They both had moments where they had giveaways. Calvin Pickard had to come up clutch, but they also both had moments where they made big stops. Darnell Nurse, of course, he took a penalty that allowed the Kings to score on the power play. He took a penalty in the third period. Probably kind of a weak call. Not really going to blame Darnell Nurse too much on that one, honestly. Probably could have had a different outcome, in my opinion. But we'll see what their lineup looks like for Thursday. Small says, once again, the Oilers come back after letting in the first goal, but they never quit, never took their foot off the gas. With the Kings seemingly playing three defensemen at the end, I doubt they'll have the gas to keep the series going, especially if the Oilers get that hometown energy. The biggest thing, and I don't disagree with you, Small, but the biggest thing for Edmonton is they have to get the lead in the first period and force the Kings to chase. Edmonton, they've been behind in literally every single game in this series. They have to have the lead and hold on to the dang thing. Nimrod says, not mad, just disappointed. Of course, Nimrod is a Kings fan. I don't blame you at all. That's probably how I would be feeling, though I'm pretty unhinged. I would probably actually be very mad. Nimrod, thank you for your comment. I appreciate that. JH says, it really was Kemper versus the Oilers tonight. Absolutely dominant win. I think I read 22 high danger chances for the Oilers and 6 for the Kings. Now we're back on home ice. I'm getting giddy just thinking about our barn on Thursday. I am also giddy. I wish I could go to game 6, but I went to game 4. Life-changing experience. I will do a live stream for game 6 here on the YouTube channel. If you're excited for that, smash the like button. But Jingle says, Boosh Nurse is the 2025 CC Nurse pairing. KK can't get enough of it. What's it going to take to break it before if Ekholm returns? Again, tonight, good game by the two of them, but I do agree. In general, probably should keep these two separate. And last but not least, Mr. J from Twitter, and then I'll do a couple from Discord, and then we will wrap things up. This is already a long video. Mr. J says, hey, Austin, what do you think of Pickles being named starter for the rest of the playoffs? And which game do you think he has played better in, tonight or game 4? Pickard is the starter no matter what happens the rest of the playoffs for Edmonton, and his best game was game 4. Yes, the LA Kings scored 3 goals on him. However, the saves that he had to make, and the Kings dominated for 40 minutes. Calvin Pickard was under siege in game 4. He had to make some big saves. He didn't give up a goal in the third period, allowed the Oilers to tie it, did not give up the OT winner. That was the turning point. Well, the official turning point was game 3, where the Oilers won the coach's challenge and all that stuff. But Calvin Pickard's best game is still game 4, in my opinion. He played good tonight. In fact, I would say he played great. Not tested as much as, Calvin or Darcy Kemper was. But again, you have to make the saves you're supposed to. Not Darcy Kemper. Oh my God. Calvin Pickard did what he had to do. Now, when it comes to the Discord questions, Gold asks, do you think we win game 6? And if we win, what do you think our cup chances are? I'm not even going to talk about the Stanley Cup. Do I think we win game 6? I don't know. Do I hope we do? Yes. I'm superstitious. I don't like thinking too far ahead. I'm not even going to mention the end of the playoffs where teams play for the thing that they all chase in their lives. I am superstitious. That's a great question, but I cannot give you an accurate answer for that. Erica, super happy that Janmark scored. Gabriel asks, is playoff Janmark an actual thing? I mean, obviously, playoff Janmark is an actual thing. Absolutely 100% Janmark is an actual thing. And then, of course, there was one more question. 1 second here. Trying to get the... What the heck? What the heck? Give me the Discord question. Man, the boys were in another gear right from puck drop. What a first period. Great playoff hockey. Solid win. Could not agree with you more. Thank you all for your questions and comments. Yes, I probably read more than I should, but I want to make sure that I'm encouraging and communicating with the community as much as possible. I cannot do what I do without your support. So thank you all so much. If you enjoyed today's fan reaction, smash that like button. If you want the Oilers and think the Oilers can find a way to close this thing out in game 6 on home ice, smash that like button. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel and you want to see daily hockey playoff content from an Oilers fan, a little bit unhinged sometimes, make sure to subscribe to the channel. You are all amazing. For those of you who tuned into the live stream tonight, also, thank you so much. We will be back tomorrow with a day after discussion. Thursday morning, pregame report before game 6. Thursday night, live stream here on the Austin Hockey YouTube channel. Thank you so much. I just smashed my elbow into the desk. We'll see you soon, Oil Country. Tell someone that you love them. And as always, fight like a kid. Fight like Ben. Let's go, Oilers. Let's see if they can close this thing out in 6. Let's go.